Welcome in, y'all. Cowboy here. Today we're going to be going over the Sambuk. Now, I'm actually going to be showing you guys three very different builds, I should say, for the Sambuk. I like them all. I can't decide. I guess we'll do four. We'll actually do four today. I can't decide between any of them as the best. They're all equally good in their own right, and they're completely different playstyles. The Sambuk is such a versatile ship. The biggest issue it has is its survivability, but a couple of these really touch on that, and then a couple of these kind of ignore the survivability and go full-blown glass cannon. So we got a lot to get into, guys. This is going to be a longer video. If you're not down for the long video and the deep dive and the explanation for everything, have no fear. Within the next day or two of this video coming out, I'll edit a no nonsense guide and put it in the description for you guys. That'll have everything you need on each build in under 3 minutes, and then a nice little cheat sheet on the screen. So before we get into the builds, guys, I just want to remind you I'm running a giveaway on my channel right now for anybody who subscribes. When we hit 500 subscribers, guys, we'll be doing this giveaway. I'm going to give away everything in my inventory, everything in my stash, everything I own in Skull and Bones, all my weapons. I currently have every weapon, every armor, every furniture. I'm saving all my loot boxes, all my materials. Whoever wins gets it all. I'm going to be scrapping my boats. You guys get all of everything off my boats, etc., etc., etc. Whoever wins is just going to be set up. And so we'll do that at 500 subscribers, guys. And then when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll do it again. So if that's something you're interested in, all you got to do to enter, guys, is subscribe to the channel and then comment on a Skull and Bones video. That's it. Doesn't have to be something nice. Yeah, I'd actually prefer it if it was honest feedback on what I can do better, what I can change, and that helps me grow as a streamer, or as a content creator, I should say. I care very little about my streaming career. I care much more about getting informational videos out for people. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the build, guys. Sambuk. Let's talk about it. So you start out, before you upgrade the boat, with Scorched. This is probably the most OP perk in the game. When you set a target ablaze, you instantly deal 5,000 damage. When you set a target ablaze, everybody nearby sets ablaze. They also take 5,000 damage. When you attack a ship that is ablazed, you deal 50% more damage to it. That is insanely overpowered, but it's intentional. It's been that way. It's not getting nerfed. It's not going anywhere. It's a very good boat, guys. On top of that, when you 6-6 this boat, you get Firebug, which just decreases fire weapon reload times. Very good stuff. Now, let's get into it, guys. So, the first build I have for you guys is a little more niche, a little more geared towards the Solstice event. And I have actually had horrible RNG. I don't have enough to actually show you guys the gameplay of this. This is the long gun, the Nashkar. When you hit a weak spot with this build, this furniture setup that I have on, you heal about 20% of your health per shot. That is ridiculous. That is an insane amount of damage and an insane amount of healing that you're doing. Like I said earlier, the Sambuk's biggest weak spot, guys, it puts out damage no problem. You can put out damage on a flooding torpedo build with this boat. Okay, it puts out damage no problem. But its survivability is scuffed. And so healing 20% of your health per shot is really, really, really big. So let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about how we get there. So Nashkar, you're going to rock that on every gun port, your bow, your port, your starboard, and your stern. Your auxiliary is going to be either the Infernal Maul or the Crouching Tiger. I don't recommend you guys go this. This will decrease the amount of damage the target does to you if you're solo. But I like the Infernal Maul because it guarantees the target stays ablaze, so you keep your uptime at like 90 to 100%, guaranteeing you higher damage consistently. You don't ever have to build your ablaze, is what I'm trying to say. For our whole armor, guys, Crimson Lotus, really good. Buccaneer's Oath, really good. Black Prince, really good. I recommend you pick one of those three. I have Crimson Lotus equipped, but that's from testing earlier. Personally, I'd probably go Buck Oath or Black Prince if I were you guys. You don't really need the damage that either of these give you. You do kind of need the survivability. Even with the healing, Rather be safe than sorry. A dead DPS is no DPS, right? Very cliche, but it's what it is. Now, for our furniture, guys, we're going to take Chuling's Guidance. Yes, Chuling's Guidance over the scoping station. We're not a Garuda. We don't get rewards for playing at max range and missing all of our shots. We're going to take Chuling's Guidance. We're going to play very close to the target, and we're just going to thread the needle into weak spots the entire time. And this is going to deal massive amounts of damage, increases our reload speed in the front, increases front crit point damage, etc., etc., etc. Very good piece for us, especially with, you know, weak spots healing us good amounts. Devil's Concoction. These long guns, the Nashkar, they are fire type, so this is going to increase the burning type secondary damage on that, as well as the puncture secondary damage. So we're increasing the secondary damage by 15% on that, as well as an additional 19%, or a total of what, like 30 something. So pretty good stuff there. 30 and some change. I took port powder kegs, and that's not supposed to be front powder kegs. That's supposed to be starboard powder kegs. There we go. And then lastly, I don't ever do a Sambuk build without the gunpowder bench. But if you guys want to be silly, don't rock it. That's the nicest way I could say that. This is just an extra 10% on top of your 50. There's no reason not to use this. Now, if we want to change this up a little bit, guys, the next build that I would recommend, I would keep this on your bow and your stern, the Nashkar. If you don't have a Nashkar, guys, or Nashkar, I would rock a Hellport on your bow. If you don't have a Hellport, you can put a Fire Bombard on your bow and your stern. Fire Bombard is really good on the Sambuk. Or you could do Zomzamas up front. Zomzamas, that's not a Zomzama. Zomzamas on the broadsides, and then definitely don't do a Zomzama on the rear. You want to go Fire Bombard on the rear, guys, because you only have 2 gun ports on your rear. Shot for shot, you get 8k damage total versus like what, 3k maybe. I guess not. I guess you get 4 gun ports there if you do alt deck, but still, it's not worth it, guys. Don't do it. Same thing. Auxiliary is going to stay Infernal Maul. Infernal Maul is just BIS on the Sambuk. It guarantees that you get massive amounts of damage. In terms of this, guys, this is where we're actually going to go Crimson Lotus for realsies. It's going to increase your crew attack. After crew attacks, it's going to increase your broadside damage by 33%. Now, the cool thing about the Zomzamas, guys, why we're taking these over, like, for example, Phoenix Talons. Oh, here's my Phoenix Talons. Why we're taking these over Phoenix Talons? Because Phoenix Talons you would think would be better. We're wanting the crew attack from this, so we're taking this for the Raider perk above all else. Very, very good perk. Now, when we come into our furniture, guys, we're going to scrap all this real quick. Well, we'll keep these on. So we'll keep Gunpowder Bench. We'll keep the Starboard and Port. And we're just going to go Strange Elixir and Boatswain's Toll. Now for this, guys, remember, our biggest weakness is our healing. We're going to take Scrapper Station, and now you have a complete Sambuk build. This thing is going to heal a lot because Scrapper Station is 8k health like every... You're going to literally Zomzama off your bow, Zomzama off of one of your broadsides, and then you're going to crew attack. And then you're going to Zomzama, crew attack. And that is literally your rotation here. That is how fast you're going to be building crew attacks with this. You're going to be healing 8k every, like, 3 seconds. And you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage, both from the Zomzamas and from the crew attacks. And if you're not familiar with crew attacks, guys, the reason that you'd want to rock a crew attack build ever, the more populated an event, the higher the boss's HP scales. The higher the boss's HP, the more crew attack damage you do. This scales really dramatically. Like, so if you're by yourself, you're only going to do like 20 to 30k with a crew attack, maybe 40 if you got a really good crew attack build. Throw 8 to 10 players in the mix, your crew attack will be hitting between 150k and 200k. That is how much like it scales. It's absolutely crazy. So that's why you want to rock this, guys. You're gonna be out DPSing everybody at that point. Nobody's pulling the highest damage build that I have in the game right now. Is I'm dealing 80k damage per broadside with my Brigantine build. It's really good build, guys. It's the best one in the game. You might be able to compete with it with the Gordita or the Garuda. I mean, that even won't compete with this crew attack build at a populated event. So, just note that. Now, lastly, guys. Well, technically not lastly. Our third build, and we're going to do 4. My third build that I'd recommend to you guys, we're going to go ahead and take all this off, is going to be, actually, we'll go ahead and put a helport here. If you guys don't have a helport, I'm using a helport for the healing that it gives. If you don't have a helport, make sure you do the giveaway. You have a pretty good chance. I've got like 8 of these. You have a good chance of getting some. So, it's like there's like 16 people that have done my giveaway entry thing so far, so your chances are good. That's what I'm trying to say here. Anyways, Hellport on the broadsides, guys, we're gonna actually take Rama's Legacy. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier when I said that you can take a flooding weapon and put it on a Sambuk and still have it pull insane numbers. Check this out. Now, this is one that's gonna kind of throw our survivability to the wind, but it's okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go Torpedo Works. Okay. We're going to take Expanding Corkscrew Station, because it is a secondary type weapon. And then lastly, we're going to take, and this is a more rare piece, so not everybody has this right now, Tuning Station. This is for sale on the black market occasionally, but it's pretty rare, so check back. If you see this, you need to snatch it up. This is an S tier piece, and it's rarely in the store. Now, yes, we're not using a major finisher with this, guys, but it's okay. Our torpedoes are going to be cranking between like 7 to 16k, I think, with this build. And the reason this works, we're actually going to take off Crimson Lotus, by the way. Don't go Crimson Lotus with this. You only want to go Buccaneer's Oath with this build. You want this for the additional weapon damage, guys. So, again, to reiterate the build, guys, Hellport on the front for the healing. If you don't have Hellport, go Fire Bombard. Go Fire Bombard on your stern. You need to get Rama's Legacies. These are sold in the Rama vendor. You just got to complete her quest to get these. Very easy. You can get the blueprint, craft them yourself. They're not expensive. The really good part about these guys is this cataclysmic effect. It scales really, really, really high. So your first torpedo might hit like 6 or 7k. Your fourth torpedo, remember there's 4 gun ports, we shoot 4 torpedoes at once. Your fourth torpedo that makes contact is going to hit like 14 to 16k damage. Could go up even higher if there's like a Bidar debuffing and the target is pierced, but that's a whole different barrel of monkeys. So I'm talking soloable numbers here. And again, Infernal Maul armor, Buccaneer Oath, very good. And then just to reiterate, there's no major furnishing. We take Tuning Station because this gives us insane amount of secondary damage. Corkscrew because it's going to give us secondary damage. Torpedo Works, secondary damage. And then we're taking Port Powder Kegs, Starboard Powder Kegs, and Gunpowder Bench. And that's going to up our damage huge. And like I said, guys, per torpedo, you're averaging, your first torpedo is going to hit, it's going to slam like 6 to 8k. Your last torpedo is going to be like 12 to 14k. Very, very good build, guys. Maybe 16 in certain circumstances, but very good build. Now, this is going to be like the lastly build that we touch on, guys, and it is just a fire bombard build. And this build has been around forever, and that's kind of why I wasn't going to include it, but I figure the Sambuk, the old school, the OG Sambuk players are going to crucify me if I touch a Zamzama build, but I don't throw in the bombard build. So here we are, guys. So you're going to rock fire bombards on all of your weapons. Every single weapon slot, fire bombard. Take Infernal Maul. Just increases your fire uptime. Buccaneer's Oath is really good. You could probably also make it work with Crimson if you don't have Buck Oath. Crimson is always available in the Season 4 in the black market. So just grab that if you don't have Buck Oath. We're going to take Bombard Minsuri, if we can find it, amongst all the junk. Here we go. Bombard Minsuri, Shell Packing Station. Where are you? Shell Packing Station, right here. Alright. And then I'm probably just going to leave these. Your major furnishing, guys, go whatever you want. Scrapper Station's probably a really good option because, again, your survivability is going to be pretty lacking. But you could always go balls to the wall signal gong. You could always go munitions mixer to get that increased blaze duration. If you do that, you might actually consider just keeping or getting rid of the Infernal Maul. You might consider going with, like, what's it called? The rocket Warhammer. You might consider going Warhammer instead, or you might just consider going, instead of any major furnishing there, you might just consider going like Bombard Works. Right here, bam. And that's going to give you 10% increased damage there. This is going to increase your AoE and reload time, broadside damage, just general damage. You could always take off Shell Packing Station. Now, the cool thing about Shell Packing Station, if you run this with the Lotus Mooncakes from the Regatta event as your food, you run this, and then you can run. Take this off, and you can go. Where is it? I don't even see it up here. The Megaphone. We'll come steal it off of one of these guys. Sloop doesn't need it. With this, and with the Shell Packing Station, and that food, and then the 25% from the Sambuk passive, guys, you can actually get, I think it was 53, I don't remember the exact number, it's about 53% increased reload speed with Bombards, guys. And so what that means is by the time that you finish rotating your broadside 4 clicks, and then you rotate to your bow 2 clicks, you can go back to your broadside and you can do 4 more clicks without ever having any kind of downtime in your reload. And that is a really, really potent, because these Bombards, guys, let's take a look at these things. These things are no joke. That's almost 5k a hit. Now, we get 50% more damage on these when the target's ablaze. That's like 7-8k a shot, guys. And it just doesn't stop. It's just a reign of terror. Very, very good Sambuk build, guys. So, and that's all I got for you guys. That's the 4 builds I got for you Sambuk wise. If you're not happy with any of those, hit me up. I can really throw out, like, tell me what you're looking for, and I can customize a build for you. That goes for any boat. Like, don't sweat it. I can make it for anything. It doesn't have to be a Sambuk, but. Let me know, guys. If you are looking for a different boat, though, check my playlist. I've got a Season 4 playlist for Best Boat Season 4 is what it's called. It's got everything you need. GG's, guys. Good luck. Have fun. Don't work too hard.